Today we're taking this simple frog and amping it up with color, so stick around. Hello colorists, welcome to PencilStash, a weekly show all about coloring. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to get all the new content, and be sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying my videos. Hey there Pencil Stashers, I am back from my awesome vacation in sunny California. Now, my cousin Alicia and I hit up Disneyland, we went to San Diego, we went to Coronado Island, and I had just an absolutely wonderful time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big Disney fan. I love Disney World, grew up going there, and so now as an adult going to Disneyland with one of my best friends in the world is just so much fun. It was a little bit chilly, but heck, you only live once. We had such a good time. We went to San Diego. I mean, it was amazing how much fun we crammed into just a couple of days. And I already miss her a ton. She lives in Florida. I'm in Chicago. And so whenever we get together, it is just so nice to spend time with her. I miss her so much. But I'm back now and ready to dive right into coloring and creating some videos with you guys. Now, my godmother Dawn got me this awesome coloring book for Christmas. It's called Color Me Your Way, illustrated by P.J.C. Smart. And each page is a letter of the alphabet and features an animal with that corresponding letter. And what's nice about this book is its large format, that the spiral is on the left side since I'm right-handed, and I do like the fact that the pages are only one-sided. Now, I know you're getting less pictures that way, but I love that because I can use markers or watercolors or anything else that might bleed through. And you can either take the page out of the book or put a protective sheet behind this one to protect the one beneath it, while not technically ruining a perfectly good picture on the back side of the page. So I really like this book, and I am getting really excited to start one of these. I also really like the texture in each animal. It gives just enough to give it some interest without being too busy, and I'm really looking forward to playing around with that. So this present came with a request. The giver, my godmother, loves frogs, and I mean loves frogs. And she made the special request that I color the frog page for her, and I'm very happy to do that since she has been the best godmother a girl could ask for. So we'll be doing this little guy today. And in terms of color palette, I went back and forth on the colors to use. Now, I'm naturally drawn to doing a green frog, but when I thought about what I wanted to do with the background, I thought it might be fun to make this froggy stand out. So I did a little bit of digging on Google, and I found a really cool frog with a red front half and a blue bottom half and lots of spots on him, black spots. So we're going to be using him as our inspiration today. And using my Prismacolor and Crayola color charts, I pulled some colors I think will help us accomplish that. And let's start with his top half with our reds. The inspiration photo has him a very flat red, but since we have all these little details that the artist has given us, we'll incorporate a bunch of different reds in kind of the same tone, just to give our froggy some interest. As I put in these different reds, I'm trying to kind of evenly disperse them and leave space in each section for more than one color just to bring some color variation. And I'm also wanting to bring in plenty of black into our frog. So I'm keeping in mind those areas I want to have black and leaving those alone for the time being, just kind of working around those areas I want black with my reds. Now I know I'll have more red to add later, but I'm going to go into those areas that I want black now so that I can get a better sense of where to put in my reds, just to kind of solidify all the places that these are going. Now the black areas will be flat black, putting in a medium layer now and then going back over it later if need be, if I just want to make it a little bit richer. Some of the little sections have these lines of hatching, and I'm using those as my guide to put in my darker red, such as my Tuscan red. Kind of acts as that place to put in your shadows. I think that's good for now, so I'm going to pull out my blender and just work it in circles in each little section until they're all blended out. And just be careful around the areas of black so you don't accidentally pull in any of those blacks into your reds. It'll just kind of muddy them up. Now I'll move on to his bottom half, and unlike the top half, I'm actually going to start with black instead of my blues. If you recall our reference photo, there's a lot more black than blue there, and I want to make sure I'm putting in enough to get that across. And I'll even go back in later to add some additional black spots to drive that home right on top of our blues. But for now, just going in with my blacks just as placeholders. For the blues, I've pulled 3 of them. 1 light, 1 dark, and 1 medium. The first is the lightest with this Crayola turquoise. I'm going to be putting it in quite liberally across the leftover white spaces. Then I'll go back in with the other 2 blues that I've chosen to build up some layers. Next color I'll be using is the darkest. This dark yet still nice and bright blue is just like the inspiration photo, so this Copenhagen blue will be just perfect. I'll put this in along the edges, again where the artist has given us those hatch marks. A little shadow line across the bottom of his toes, a little shadow there. This cerulean blue will be our middle color, and I'll use it to bridge the gap between the turquoise and the Copenhagen blue. So I'll use very light pressure over the transition area between those two colors. Circular strokes. This will create more of a natural gradient transition instead of a harsh line between those colors. Now I'll blend all this out, again being very careful not to pull any black into my areas of blue. And I'm also starting my blend in the light areas and pushing my way outward towards the dark, again to keep those areas of light nice and light. back at the inspiration photo to see our frog's eyes, and they are black. So we're going to color those in black and just kind of leave that little center section white. Now just go in and deepen some of these blacks. Again, just make them a little bit richer. Now I'll go in and put in some of those back end spots I mentioned earlier, just like our inspiration image. Luckily, this Prismacolor black goes very nicely right over top of both our blues and our reds. Now for my spot shapes and sizes, I'm going to use my inspiration photo and just try to keep the shape very natural and each one just a little bit different. And I'll even add in some smaller ones as well. I'd also like to use my Uniposca white paint pen to add a bit of additional interest. And this is the 1.3 millimeter size, so very small fine dots in just a few places to finish them off. And he's done. I've got our background planned for our next video, so be sure to tune in to find out how this page comes out. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It's the thumbs up button on the bottom of your screen below. It helps new folks find my channel and helps me out a ton. Thank you guys so much for watching this week. I will see you next time.